Host Saudi Foreign Minister. Watch this space. From the cradle, Saudi Foreign Minister meets Assad to discuss political solution. Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan's visit to Damascus is an attempt to end Syria's isolation in the region. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad held talks with Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan in Damascus on Tuesday, 18 April, in the first visit of a top diplomat from regional power, Saudi Arabia, to Syria, since ties were cut following the start of the U.S.-backed war on Syria. The Saudi foreign minister said in a statement that Prince Faisal's visit falls within the framework of the kingdom's keenness and interest to reach a political solution to the Syrian crisis that ends all its repercussions and preserves Syria's unity, security, stability, and its Arab identity, and restores it to its Arab surroundings in a way that achieves the good of its brotherly people. President Assad said the kingdom's open and realistic policies benefited the region and that an Arab role is necessary for supporting the Syrian people to overcome all the repercussions of the war on Syria, stabilize the situation, and liberate all Syrian territory. According to Reuters, Foreign Minister bin Farhan's visit is the most significant step yet toward ending Syria's decade-long regional isolation, and at a time of wider rapprochement in the region. Bin Farhan's visit followed the Saudi kingdom's invite to President Assad to attend an Arab League summit due to take place next month in Riyadh. On Friday, Gulf Arab foreign ministers and their counterparts from Egypt, Iraq, and Jordan discussed Syria's possible return to the League. Following the launch of the U.S.-backed insurgency to topple the Syrian government in 2011, Syria's membership in the Arab League was suspended. Saudi Arabia played a prominent role in the U.S. regime change effort by funding extremist armed groups, including ISIS and Jaish al-Islam. The Syrian army, with the help of Iran and Russia, eventually defeated the insurgency, but not before losing control of large sections of the country in the north and the northeast. The re-establishment of relations between Riyadh and Damascus is part of a wider trend that's also seen Saudi Arabia and regional Islamic rival Iran agree to restore ties. While several Arab countries have also re-established ties with Damascus, Qatar remains opposed to normalization and does not wish to see Syria readmitted to the Arab League. Qatar also armed and funded extremist insurgent groups during the U.S.-led war on Syria, including the al-Qaeda-affiliated Nusra Front, now known as Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, which still occupies Syria's northern Idlib province. But while Syria's international isolation is slowly ending, Zionists find themselves increasingly isolated. Zionist Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has hoped to normalize relations with Saudi Arabia following his re-election to the prime minister post in December in an effort to jointly confront Iran. However, the Saudi move to restore relations with Iran and Syria with the Saudi move to restore relations with Iran and Syria, a future normalization with the Zionists now appears in doubt. And from Globe World News Echo, Faisal bin Farhan in Damascus for a comprehensive settlement. He discussed with al-Assad steps to restore Syria to its Arab surroundings. Yesterday, Tuesday, the Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan discussed with Syrian President Bashar al-Assad steps to achieve a comprehensive political settlement in Syria that would contribute to its return to its Arab surroundings, for aid to reach all regions of Syria, stressing the importance of taking further measures to contribute to stabilizing the situation throughout the Syrian territories. The keenness and attention the kingdom attaches to reaching a political solution to the Syrian crisis that ends all its repercussions and preserves the unity of Syria, the Saudi minister stressed to the Syrian president the need to create conditions for the safe return of refugees and displaced Syrians to the areas. At the beginning of the reception, the Saudi foreign minister conveyed the greetings of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz and Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz, Crown Prince and Prime Minister, to the Syrian president, and their wishes to the brotherly government and people of Syria for security and stability. While the Syrian president conveyed his greetings and appreciation to him, to the custodian of the two holy mosques, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, and to the government and people of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, more progress and continued progress and development. The Syrian Arab news agency stated that al-Assad discussed with Prince Faisal the relations between the two countries and other political Arab and international files. It quoted al-Assad as saying that healthy relations between Syria and the kingdom are the normal state that should be. And from freshheadline.com, Saudi Arabia Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan visits Syria as relations thaw. Saudi Arabia's top diplomat arrived in the Syrian capital on Tuesday, the first official visit by an official from the kingdom in more than a decade, the Syrian government said. The visit by Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan to Damascus follows that of his Syrian counterpart Faisal Miqdad to Riyadh last week. Syrian state news agency Sana reported that after his arrival, the Saudi top diplomat was received by Syrian President Bashar Assad. A statement published by Saudi state media said that bin Farhan's visit came within the framework of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's keenness and interest to reach a political solution to the Syrian crisis that would end all its repercussions and preserve Syria's unity, security, stability, and Arab identity, and restore to its Arab surroundings. China offers to facilitate peace talks between Israel and Palestine. The kingdom cut off diplomatic relations with Damascus in 2012. After the outbreak of Syria's civil war, Syria and Saudi Arabia said last week they were moving toward restoring consular services and resuming flights between the two countries. Syria was widely shunned by Arab governments over Assad's brutal crackdown on protesters in a 2011 uprising that descended into civil war. The breakdown in relations culminated with Syria being ousted from the Arab League. And I will push back on that framing there, so I'm going to continue to read this with caution. Yeah, and so, however, in recent years, as Assad consolidated control over most of the country, Syria's neighbors have begun to take steps toward rapprochement. The overtures picked up pace since the massive February 6 earthquake in Turkey and Syria, and the Chinese brokered the establishment of ties between Saudi Arabia and Iran, which had backed opposing sides in the Syrian conflict. Saudi Arabia is hosting the next Arab League summit in May, when Syria's membership is widely expected to be on the table. Some members, mainly Qatar, have opposed Damascus's return to the organization. EAM Jaishankar appreciates his Saudi Arabian counterpart Faisal bin Farhan's assessment of the Sudan situation. And on Friday, a group of regional leaders from the Arab Gulf countries, as well as Egypt, Jordan, and Iraq, convened in Saudi Arabia to discuss Syria's political fate. Following the meeting, the group promised to continue talks to reach a political solution to the Syrian conflict, but stopped short of endorsing its return to the Arab League. And from Dubai Week, Faisal bin Farhan in Damascus for comprehensive settlement. Yesterday, Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan discussed with Syrian President Bashar al-Assad steps to reach a comprehensive political settlement in Syria. Syria emphasizes the importance of taking further steps to contribute to the stabilization of the situation through the Syrian regions. The interest and attention paid by the kingdom to achieving a political solution to the Syrian crisis ends all its consequences and protects the unity of Syria. The Saudi minister stressed to the Syrian president the need to create conditions for the safe return of refugees and displaced Syrians to their regions. At the beginning of the reception, the Saudi foreign minister conveyed the greetings and wishes of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz, and Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz, to the Syrian president. The Syrian president expressed his congratulations and appreciation to the Brotherhood government and people of Syria for security and stability. Custodian of the two holy mosques, Crown Prince and Prime Minister, and to the government and people of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, further progress and continued progress and development. The Syrian Arab news agency said that al-Assad discussed relations between the two countries and other political, Arab, and international files with Prince Faisal. It quoted al-Assad as saying that healthy relations between Syria and the kingdom were the normal state to be in. And from the Arab Weekly, Saudi Foreign Minister visits Assad, pushing ahead with normalization with Syria. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad received Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan in Damascus on Tuesday, in the most significant step yet towards ending Syria's decade-long regional isolation at a time of wider rapprochement in the region. It was the first visit by a top diplomat from Arab powerhouse Saudi Arabia to Damascus since ties were ruptured following Assad's deadly crackdown on protesters in 2011, violence which escalated into a decade-long civil war. Again, I'm going to push back on that, and maybe we can investigate that in future stories. The meeting discussed steps needed for a political solution to Syria's conflict that would pressure or preserve its Arab identity and return it to its Arab surroundings, Saudi state media said. Assad said the kingdom's open and realistic policies benefited the region, Syria's state news agency reported. The statements made no mention of an Arab League summit that Riyadh is due to host next month. On Friday, Gulf Arab foreign ministers and their counterparts from Egypt, Iraq, and Jordan discussed Syria's possible return to the body at a meeting in Saudi Arabia, but no agreement was reached. Following the eruption of the civil war in 2011, Syria's membership in the Arab League was suspended, and several Gulf states, including Saudi Arabia, began backing rebel groups fighting to oust Assad from power. Assad, with the help of his main allies Iran and Russia, later regained control over much of Syria. Saudi Arabia has said in recent months that isolating him was not working. The two sides agreed to resume diplomatic ties, and sources had earlier told Reuters that bin Farhan would travel to Damascus to invite Assad to the Arab League summit. While some countries, including the United Arab Emirates, have also mended ties with Damascus, others, such as Qatar, remain opposed to normalization and to readmitting Syria to the Arab League in the absence of a political solution to the conflict. Syria's foreign minister, who recently visited Saudi Arabia, Algeria, and Tunisia, has said his country's return to the Arab League would be almost impossible before correcting bilateral relations. The thaw in relations between Riyadh and Damascus is part of a wider trend that has been seen in Saudi Arabia and main rival Iran agreeing to restore ties in a regional realignment aimed at easing tensions as economic priorities take precedence for Gulf states. And watch this space. Remember, your engagement through a like, a share, or a sub will accelerate us at warp speed towards the continuation of our mission to truthfully go where no news will have been going.